We're doing a basic royal icing using meringue powder. There are a ton of different variations for royal icing. Royal icing by definition is icing that hardens on your cookie so it doesn't smudge. So if you've ever had the cookies that have like the really hard icing across the top that you can like bag or stack, that's royal icing. There are a lot of different versions. There are versions that use corn syrup and different ingredients. I like the simplicity of this. It's literally just meringue powder, powdered sugar, and water. Easy peasy. It gives it a nice matte finish. Royal icing that uses corn syrup usually has more of a gloss to it, which is fine. I also like that this hardens fairly quickly. Some of the other royal icing recipes take quite a while to become hard and not tacky, which then can take longer when you're doing side-by-side colors. So we'll get to that. So this is a very simple royal icing. You're welcome to try other variations. This is just the one that I personally prefer. So meringue powder, we're gonna do 3 tablespoons. Now I should say this batch of royal icing is enough to do like 50 cookies. So if you don't want a ton of royal icing, you could totally half this. It does keep fairly well if you put it in an airtight container. It will separate after being stored for a few days. You'll just have to mix it back up to reconstitute it. It may thin a little bit and you'll have to add a little bit more powdered sugar to it. But this will make like 50 cookies. So if you don't need that much icing, you can totally half this recipe. But I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons of meringue powder in my mixer. You do want to do this with a mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can use a hand one. Use your beater attachment, not your whisk. Unlike a buttercream where you want it to be fluffy, we're gonna beat stiff peaks, but we don't want to pump air into it. When you use a wire whisk, that pumps more air into what you're making, and we don't want a lot of air in royal icing because then you get air bubbles. So then you're icing your cookie and you're gonna have all these little holes from the air bubbles. So use a beater attachment, not a whisk. If you have a hand mixer, you should have beaters that have like more flat bars, not the wire one. Because we want to beat this and so it forms peaks but not fluffy air piles. So 3 tablespoons of meringue powder and 4 cups of powdered sugar. I already have this measured out because I used half a bag of powdered sugar. 1 bag of powdered sugar is 2 pounds, which is approximately 8 cups if it's sifted. So like half a bag of powdered sugar is usually what you need. 1 pound is approximately 4 cups. So 4 cups of powdered sugar. We're gonna dump that in here. Okay, save that. And then you're gonna do approximately 6 tablespoons of water. I usually start with 4 tablespoons, which is 1/4 of a cup, and see if that's the consistency I want. We're gonna get it so it's kind of a liquidy paste, and then we're gonna beat it until it forms some peaks. So this does take a minute. It's going to be a little bit loud. Sorry about that. So I put in, that's 4 tablespoons in 1/4 cup. If it doesn't look dissolved enough, then I'll add a couple tablespoons more. I'm gonna add in 2 more tablespoons. Okay, I'm going to move you over so you can kind of see. Hold on 1 second. Pull you off the stand. There we go. Okay, up close and personal. All right, so you can kind of see it's this like soupy white consistency. So we're gonna turn this up. And let that beat until it gets to a stiffer consistency. Put you guys back up here. There we go. Okay. Okay. If you accidentally add too much water, just add back in a little bit of powdered sugar, and it'll stiffen up. It might throw off your ratio of meringue powder to powdered sugar a little bit, but it should set up fine. It just might take a little bit longer for it to harden. I'm going to be using piping bags and couplers and tips. If you don't have tips, you just have piping bags, that's fine. You can just trim a tiny hole. If you don't have piping bags, you can use a Ziploc bag and just cut a tiny corner off and use that to twist. Works pretty well. Some Ziploc bags have a thinner plastic, so they're a little bit harder to pipe with, but they work if you don't have piping bags. Okay, I'm going to pull you off again. I'm just going to show you where it's at right now. So it's getting thicker, but it's still really liquidy. Now, one mistake sometimes people make when they do royal icing is they go ahead and use it from this consistency, because what's going to happen is we're going to make peaks and then we're going to thin it back down again with water. The reason we do that, though, is we want to make sure that all of that meringue powder has dissolved, and otherwise it changes the flavor of it and it doesn't set up quite right. So we want to make sure that we get it to a peak consistency and then thin it back down. You can use it from this consistency without peaking and thinning it, but like I said, it doesn't set up quite right. So we're going to let it go a little bit longer. this is what we're looking for. So we've got this where it's thick. Let me turn it. Sticking to the paddle here. It's not soupy anymore. It's more of like a creamy. It could even go a few more minutes to get a little bit stiffer. It's not going to hurt it if you overbeat it, Hillary, because we're going to thin it back down. So as long as it's incorporated, then it's totally fine. I sometimes have put it in the mixer and walked away and then forgot about it, and then it got really, really stiff, like I was making a meringue topping for a pie. And you just thin it down. It'll be totally fine. So it can go a little bit stiffer than this. If yours is a little bit stiffer than that, it's not a big deal. It's totally fine. Just for the sake of time and you guys not watching me twiddle my thumbs, I'm gonna go ahead and thin it down and put it in bags. Let's see. Woo, sorry, hope nobody throws up. Motion sickness here. Okay, all right, so what we're gonna do now, this is where if you're gonna color your royal icing, you would wanna do that now. You wanna color your royal icing before you thin it, especially if you're using liquid food coloring like drops, because it can change the consistency because you're adding liquid to it. So color your icing before you thin it down. And I usually scoop mine out into a separate bowl. And while you're working with some of the icing in a bowl, you want to cover the main bowl of frosting. Any of the icing that you're not currently using needs to be covered, either saran wrap or a damp towel, because it'll start to harden and dry out. And you don't want that. So I'm going to scrape down the sides here into the center. I'm just going to show you again. So we've got this nice white, thick, creamy consistency. And I'm only going to use white and yellow today. You can use whatever colors you want. Judah's birthday is on Saturday and he wants Pikachu. So I'm going to do some Pikachu colored things for him. So I'm only going to color yellow and keep some white. So if you're going to want white, make sure you set some white aside before you make more colors. So I'm going to scoop out some icing into another bowl. And it won't look like much, but because you put it's so thin on your cookies, a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to scoop out not that much. Then I'm going to get something really quick to cover this. What did I do? Let's there it is. Okay. Just make sure you've got it sealed off. You don't want your icing to start to crust, because then when you mix it up and you go to pipe with it, you're going to end up with a clog in your piping bag, and that's no fun. All right, so I'm going to push that to the side, work with this right here. Hold on, I'm going to, let's see, can you guys see okay? Yeah, okay. All right, so I've got some here. I use the gel food coloring. It's more concentrated. I feel like it's easier to get the right amount. If you have liquid drops, that's fine. You just won't need as much water added. So I use a toothpick and scoop out a little bit. Stir it in. Probably gonna need more than that. And then just make sure that you're stirring, isn't pumping air into it. Like I said before, you don't want to whip it because you don't want to put air into it. If you whip air into it, you create air bubbles, which then turn into holes when you're frosting. So be gentle with your stirring. Yeah, I need more yellow than that. Pikachu is very yellow. That may be my my bonus tutorial on Saturday. Judah wants a Pikachu cake, so maybe I'll video the decorating of the Pikachu cake for people to enjoy. All right, there we go. So get it the color you want. And I would recommend doing one color at a time from dyeing to bagging so that your frosting is sealed off and you don't have a bunch of bowls of colors that are waiting to be put in bags because, like I said, you don't want it to dry. Okay, so the consistency that we're going to be working with is called a 10-second icing. So again, there are multiple methods on how to do royal icing. Some people keep a thick consistency like this in one bag, and then they make a thin consistency in a second bag. I hate doing that. It uses more bags, it's more time, you're having to swap back and forth. The only time I ever use a consistency like this is if I'm doing writing or really fine details that I don't want to spread out. If I'm just doing basic cookies, I don't use 2 consistencies per color. So a 10-second icing is, we're gonna add a little bit of water and mix it, and as it becomes thinner, the goal is going to be when you draw a line down the center of the bowl that it will fill in 10 seconds. So you'll thin it down and draw a line and count to 10, and by the time you get to 10, you shouldn't be able to see the line in the frosting anymore. So I'm gonna start by adding like just a few drops at a time and mix that in. Again, being careful not to create a bunch of air bubbles because we don't want holes. Okay, so that's thin some, but definitely too thick still for what we want. So we're gonna add a little bit more water. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. You can see my frosting here. I'm gonna draw a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's gone, which is great. If it's way too thin, like you don't even get to like 3 and your line is gone, you can add in a tiny more bit of powdered sugar. Just be careful of lumps. But this is a really good, if I get a good line here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's gone. Perfect. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it into some bags. If you don't have piping bags, like I said before, you can use Ziploc bags. That's easy. Most families have Ziploc bags in their home. If you have piping bags but you don't have tips and couplers, you can just trim off a teeny tiny hole. Just be careful not to make a giant hole because then your frosting is going to come out too fast. So I like to use couplers, which are these little things that drop down in and you twist the tip on so that I can change sizes if I want. If I'm doing small details, I use a 1 tip. If I'm doing just general border and filling, then I use a 2 usually. Hey Mackenzie, can you grab me some scissors?
Where are they?
I probably either in the art stuff or in my bathroom. My kitchen scissors are gone.
Where's the art stuff?
Down there. Or maybe here I can just use this.
Will it work?
Probably. Let's see. Make a Pikachu? Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna stick a coupler on here.
Where then?
With a tip. I'm gonna twist it on. And then for filling the bag, the easiest thing to do is to get a mug or a cup, like this. Take your bag and fold the edges down over the edge of the cup. It is gonna drip a little bit out the tip because it is a thin icing, but we're just gonna drizzle it down into the bag. Like that. you make the icing and put it in the bags. I'm going to hop off of here for 1 second and get my tripod set back up so that you guys can see what I'm doing over my hands on the counter, because it'll make it easier for you to see how to pipe. So I'll be right back in a second.